And with us tonight is Pete Buttigieg, also known as Mayor Pete. Mr. Mayor, thanks for being with us tonight. I've only got about 5 minutes, hoping to get in 3 questions that I know are very important to Arizona voters. National polling has Joe Biden up by about 10 points right now. Biden is leading in the polls here in Arizona, up about 3 to 4 points. Arizona could end up sending 2 Democratic senators if Mark Kelly wins. But the reality is, listen, Democrats, boy, they still have that anxiety because of 2016. Do you see any weaknesses at all right now in the Biden campaign this year? Any concerns at all? Because Hillary's campaign back in 2016 seemed to skip campaigning in some of those flyover states like Wisconsin, Michigan. I know that's where you're at right now. And that seems to have had an impact in that race. Any concerns?
Well, one thing we're not going to do is take even one vote for granted. And it's one of the reasons you see not just the Vice President Biden and Kamala Harris, but all of us who are supporting him campaigning hard out and about. I spent the day in Michigan. I know we'll be present in so many of the key states, including Arizona. And, you know, as you say, the polls are encouraging, but polls are polls. They don't actually mean anything until the votes are in. And so our focus is to make sure that everyone who is on the fence about how they're going to vote hears our message. And anybody who's on the fence about whether to vote knows what to do, knows about iwillvote.com, where you can get state-specific information, knows just how important it is that you use that power that the Constitution places in your hands to decide the future of this country. Because yes, the TV reports may suggest that we're winning. We feel like we're winning, but it doesn't count for much unless we actually get those votes out.
I want to take a moment and talk about the Supreme Court. The president has nominated Amy Coney Barrett, a conservative judge, to replace the court's liberal, RBG. If Judge Barrett is confirmed, the makeup of the court, the Supreme Court SCOTUS, will be 6-3, with conservatives in the majority here. Now, I know that you, when you were running for president, you had suggested at one point, perhaps even packing the court to help make it more balanced. Well, today, Joe Biden says that he's now going to be giving his answer before Election Day. I know that you have his ear. What should the vice president do?
Well, I think that the vice president is right to be focusing on the issue at hand. Our health care is not a theoretical question. It's on the line, and it stands to be taken away if a conservative majority validates the Republican effort to destroy the Affordable Care Act. Remember, this is coming before the Supreme Court in a matter of weeks. And if they get their way, pre-existing condition coverage is gone. Not to mention, we don't know what the effects would be on Medicaid expansion or so many other things that lives literally depend on. So we're focused on the matter at hand because there is a vote coming up in days potentially in the U.S. Senate. Then when that has been addressed, there are plenty of other maybe deeper reform issues that I think we should have a healthy national constitutional debate over, but not before we deal with the issue at hand. And the vice president's taking care, rightly in my view, not to be distracted from that.
So it seems right now, at least on Twitter, that you personally have gained all this support, even more support from Democrats, because you've been such an outspoken surrogate, especially on Fox News. Many of those interviews have gone viral. Now, that being said, these same folks say that they would love to see you in the administration if Biden-Harris were to win. A lot of people on social media, I know you're on Twitter, so I know you've read some of these comments, people talking about perhaps Mayor Pete as the ambassador to the UN, perhaps even Secretary of State. I know you're giving it some thought. It had to maybe cross your mind. Would you love to have a role in the Biden-Harris administration?
Of course I would. But first, we got to make sure that there is a Biden-Harris administration. That's what the next 2 weeks are about. And we're not going to get carried away when it's so important to actually deliver those votes. And then it will be up to the next president, President Biden, I hope, to decide as he sees fit how to build an administration that's going to serve the people. And he'll have my support, whether it's from within or whether it's on the outside. But again, we can't get carried away knowing the matter at hand is so urgent. We've got the election of our lifetimes coming up. I wouldn't even say coming up. It's underway. After all, with early voting, it's not so much an election day this year as a voting season that's underway right now. And we've got to make sure that anyone who's concerned about healthcare, concerned about the future of our democracy, concerned about America just getting to a better place, especially since we still have a president who doesn't have a plan to get us out of this pandemic so that we can all get back to school, get back to work, and get back to normal. We've got to act fast. And now is our one and only only chance to bring an end to this chaos of this administration and deliver something better.
I promise last question here. Bellwether State's November 3rd election day. You're sitting in a hotel, you're sitting at a rally party, and you're watching the screens. What's the bellwether states you're going to be looking at to perhaps hint toward who the next president will be?
Well, as the time zones progress, it'll be interesting to see what's happening in some of those first states to report. Of course, as a Midwesterner, I've got an eye on Michigan, on Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. But I'll tell you, Arizona is going to be a very interesting state as well. Been a while since that state's been in our column in the way we'd like it to be. But, you know, Arizona is a famously independent state full of people who think for themselves. And the Republicans in Arizona, they're John McCain Republicans. And one thing I've seen in the behavior of this president is he's proven that you can either be a John McCain Republican or you can be a Donald Trump Republican, but you can't be both. And that's why so many John McCain Republicans are coming in for Joe Biden this time around. So it'll be very interesting to see what Arizona does.
All right, that is Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete, thank you for the time today. I know you've been busy on the campaign trail out in Michigan. We appreciate the time.
Same here. Nice to be with you.
Thank you.